Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to discuss the organs of speech. It means that the human organs which take part in the production of speech sounds, okay? So generally the organs of speech is called to those bodily organs which take part in the production of speech, okay? So this production of speech is called articulation. So the process of articulation starts when a person inhales air and brings it up. So the air comes up from the lungs, then it reaches to the vocal cords region, and then we exhale it either from mouth or nose. So guys, in order to produce the proper speech sound, at first we need the proper functioning of our brain. If our brain doesn't function properly, then it is not possible to speak properly and to produce the proper speech sound. Okay. So the main parts of the articulatory system or the body parts which take part in the articulatory system, they are the vocal folds in the larynx, the pharynx, the tongue, the soft palate, the hard palate, the alveolar ridge, teeth, lips. They are the major parts. Okay, but apart from these, we have uvula, glottis, epiglottis, obviously our lungs, oral cavity and nasal cavity. So now let's check out how these organs help to produce speech sounds. Okay, so at first we have the lungs. So in order to produce speech as well as speech sounds, we need air source, as I said in the first slide. Okay, so our lungs gives that air source. We produce the majority of our sounds by forcing the air upwards from the lungs. Guys, it's so simple that as now I am talking, so my speech also comes out by forcing the air upwards from the lungs. Okay, so we have to inhale, we have to exhale in order to produce the speech sounds. So we can say that lungs as well as the process of breathing hold an important role in the process of producing sounds or speech sounds. So after this there comes pharynx. Okay, so the cavity, the cavity situated in the throat behind the mouth is called pharynx. Pharynx is also called in Greek as throat. As you can see in the screen that this pharynx is divided into two ways, mouth and nose, and it is used more as a passage of the air stream carrying the voice types to the oral and nasal cavities for further modification. So after pharynx we need larynx. So larynx is located at exactly the point where the throat divides between the two ways. One is trachea, means the windpipe, and the other is esophagus, means the tube that carries food or drink to our stomach. So after this we need epiglottis. So over the larynx there is a flap that is called epiglottis. When the epiglottis are folded back out of the way, then we can see the parts of larynx that are involved in the production of speech. Okay. So now we have the vocal cords. So vocal cords is located in the upper part of larynx. The two thick, muscular, horizontally placed cords are called vocal cords or vocal folds. They are situated in windpipe. Windpipe means trachea, okay? So the space between the vocal folds or vocal cords is known as glottis. So the vocal folds or vocal cords can be positioned in different ways to produce speech sounds. So after this we have to understand what is glottis. So combining of the two vocal folds and the space in between the folds is called glottis. So as the vocal folds vibrate while producing speech, the resulting vibration produces a buzzing quality to the speech that is called voice or pronunciation. So sound production involving only glottis is called glottal. Actually, friends, the vocal folds create voiced consonants or voice sounds and voiceless consonants. So as the vocal folds vibrate, this vibration produces an essential component for the voiced consonants and voiced vowels. Like in order to pronounce V, Z, B, you will find a vibration. Then we have the voiceless consonants. So if the vocal folds are drawn apart, then the air flows between them causing no vibration. That are called voiceless consonants. In order to pronounce the letters like F, S, you will find that the air flows between them, between the vocal folds, and it causes no vibration. So after this, we need to talk about the oral cavity and the nasal cavity. So in oral sounds, most air is expelled via the oral cavity, means the mouth. So here the soft palate, or we can say the velum, is raised at the back of the mouth to block the passage of air into the nasal cavity. And in order to produce nasal sounds, the velum is lowered to allow the airflow through the nasal cavity. Okay. So in order to produce the English sounds, okay, English language sounds, then the nasal consonants are accompanied by the blocking of airflow through the oral cavity. So oral cavity and nasal cavity, these are two important cavity that are needed in producing speech for different languages. So now we have to know that what is velum or soft palate. So friends, just touch with your tongue the throat word or the end portion of your mouth, then you will find some soft skin that is called velum or soft palate. Okay, so the velum is in a position that allows the air to pass through the nose and through the mouth. In order to produce speech, this velum or soft palate raised so that the air cannot escape through the nose. The main function of the soft palate is to separate the nasal cavity from the oral cavity in order to produce the oral speech sound. So this is the main thing, this is the important thing. If this separation is incomplete, then the air escapes through the nose during speech and the speech is perceived as hypernasal. So these are the main important things, so we have to keep these things in mind. Okay, so another important function of this soft palate is that it is one of the articulators that can be touched by the tongue. Like the hard palate, we'll talk about it later. Like the hard palate, the soft palate is also touched by the tongue. So when we make sounds like K, G, then you will find that the tongue is in contact with the lower side of this soft palate, and these are called the velar consonants. These sounds like K, G, they are called the velar consonants. So now we need to talk about the hard palate. So guys, if we come forward from our lungs toward pharynx, larynx, then the soft palate, then there comes the hard palate. So hard palate is a thin horizontal bony plate, the curvy plate, okay, curved surface that is located in the roof of the mouth. So friends, just touch with your tongue the upper portion of your mouth, then you will find the curvy surface. That curvy surface is called the hard palate. So the interaction between the tongue and the hard palate is essential in the formation of certain speech sounds like T, D, J. In order to pronounce these letters, the tongue is in contact with the hard palate. So now we have to talk about one of the most important things, which is uvula. So uvula is the hanging ball in the soft palate. Okay. So you know friends, in your soft palate, actually in the end your soft palate, when your two holes of your throat starts, there you will find a hanging ball, hanging soft ball, that is called uvula. Full name is palatine uvula or uvula. So it functions in tandem with the back of the throat, the palate, and the air coming up from the lung to create a number of guttural sounds as well as other sounds. Okay, just take a look of this picture. So friends, I think that this portion is clear. Now we have to talk about alveolar ridge. So behind your upper front teeth, there is a hard ridge that is called alveolar ridge. Okay, so it is between the roof of the mouth and the upper teeth. For example, in order to pronounce the English letter S, the air from the lung passes continuously through the mouth, but the tongue is closely raised to the alveolar ridge to cause a friction, as it partially blocks the air that is passes. Okay, so in order to produce the letters like S, we need our tongue and alveolar ridge. So after this, there comes the tongue. So this is one of the important articulators. So with its wide variety of possible movements, our tongue assists in forming the sounds of speech. Okay, its movement in the oral cavity plays an important role in the production of almost every speech sound. So after tongue we need our teeth. So the small whitish structures found in the jaws are called teeth. They are responsible for creating sounds, mainly the labiodental sounds and the linguodental sounds. So at last but not the least, we need our lips. So lips include the upper lip and the lower lip. So lips serve an important tool for creating different sounds, mainly the labial sounds, the bilabial sounds, mean P, B, M, W, the labiodental consonant sounds like F, B. Okay, so in order to produce these sounds, we need lips. Even not only in order to produce these sounds, with the help of lips we can talk. So lips is the most important part of articulation. If we don't have lip, then how we will talk? So in order to produce the correct speech, we need all of the human body parts that are mentioned in this video. So friends, I think that this video will help you. And don't forget to check out the description box because I am providing some relevant links of this topic that will definitely help you. Okay, some link of some websites regarding the organs of speech and other YouTube videos. So bye for now. See you in the next session very soon.